Hey everybody, happy Saturday. So, I've taken some time today to really get the message what I wanted to share with you guys today. Because I'm honestly creating this whole challenge as I go through it myself. So, I want it to be fully authentic for you. And I'm going to be real with you guys today. Today, the energy was very heavy. It was like I woke up, I was really tired this morning, and it was just like it was like in a loud club all day. And I just felt like a lot of just like, I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sit and just be, which was fine. And as I was just constantly going back to acceptance today, is how can I let go just a little bit more? What am I trying to control today? You know, and anything that come up and I felt myself restrict around it, I just felt it. I allow it to move through me. And I just comforted myself. And as I was going through my own stuff today, of accepting those parts of me that were coming up, I realized that that is the core of authenticity. And as I kind of spoke about yesterday, is a new way of looking at authenticity is seeing yourself, your identity, as fluid. And that's why it's so freeing to be authentic. Because we allow ourselves to be completely accepted, all parts of ourselves. But there's also the aspect of discovering new parts of ourselves. And that is why acceptance is the key to unlocking authenticity. Because self-acceptance is like your armor. No one can touch you if you fully accept all of yourself. Even those parts that come up that don't feel so good. Because when you fully accept yourself, no one can hurt you. Because you accept it. You accept all of yourself. You begin to see yourself as the essence, the observer, exploring those parts of yourself that are coming up and giving them the love and acceptance that they need. Because as we've talked about over and over again throughout this challenge, your feelings are parts of you. Your feelings are not given to you by someone else. It's not like someone transmuted sadness into you. Like, here you go, here's sadness. That's not how it works. It's a part of you that's getting lit up. Imagine like you have all these buttons around you that people can press. Your insecurities, your triggers. They're just pressing something that's lighting up within you. It is all about you. When you start owning all of your feelings as your own and making happiness your responsibility, not life's, not people around you, but yours to choose. That's when you become sovereign. That's when you become unfuckwithable. Okay? Because you accept all parts of yourself. It's like that, I have that 8 Mile going through my head right now, okay? So, in 8 Mile, when he's like, literally just like, at the end, battling with that dude, and he just literally trashes himself. Like, he's just accepting all of himself, and he drops the mic and like, what do you got now? Like, he literally just like called out every part of himself that the other guy could say. So the guy had nothing left to say. So that's how we can approach life. Slim Shady style, 8 Mile style. Accept yourself fully. And see what happens. Tell yourself every morning that no matter what you do today, no matter what you say, what happens, you will give yourself acceptance. Even if it doesn't feel so hot at the time, you can accept yourself. Because when you accept yourself fully, you not only feel that love, you step into that higher self, observing, but more on the physics and energy of it, you're allowing that energy to move. Because a lot of us, we sit there in acceptance, we're judging it, we're trying to pick it apart without feeling it, and it's just getting stuck in there. And over time, when you have a trauma like that, You can imagine it as plaque in the body. It literally gets more and more and more, and it builds up. Because you're not feeling it. You have to feel it to heal it. And when you accept it fully, that is telling that energy, okay, I give you permission to move out so new energy can come in. And that is energy work right there. That is self-healing right there. But the key to it is accepting it. And that is probably the hardest part in the beginning. I still have my moments where I'm like, ooh, no, not uncomfortable. But when you're doing that, you're holding on to it. And another way to see it too is that's a past version of you, calling for you and calling for your acceptance. So in those times when you feel that trigger where you're not feeling accepted, you can see it then as a younger version of you looking for you for that acceptance. And when you deny it and you're like, nope, nope, can't do it, or you retreat, or you start to replay the same abusive words and actions towards yourself that you had in the original trauma, you're just prolonging that trauma. You're bringing that trauma with you into every moment. Whereas you feel it, you feel triggered, you feel unaccepted in that moment. You can see it, feel it, just be aware of it, heal it, see it, and accept it. Give it, and if you have that in you, give it the love that you needed at that time. And what that does is it allows you to release that energy. Because so much of the time when we're trying to transform, when we're trying to go lose weight or transform our body or doing this kind of work, we're self-realization, self-healing, we tend to almost reject our past versions of ourselves. Whenever we think about that version of ourselves, we feel ashamed, or we feel like, oh, no, I don't want to go back there, or we talk shit about it. But all those versions of ourselves allowed us to get healed. And a lot of the time, when you're not accepting like that, we're not accepting all of our past versions, like I was saying. Those are old parts of you that are coming up for that acceptance. And you can see them as honorable soldiers that went through that pain to get to where you're at now. More enlightened, more aware, where you want to be, so you can give them love. That doesn't mean it's good or bad. Doesn't mean you're wanting more of it. Love transfuses that. Love heals that so you can step more into your next level self. You can clear out that old energy and allow that next level you to come in, to be expressed, to be explored. And that is the root of authenticity, because when we're not authentic, we feel restricted because we're holding ourselves in boxes of who we've been. Holding that trauma, that old energy, and defining ourselves by it. Defining ourselves by what society tells us we should be, by how we feel others will accept us. We are constantly holding ourselves in that restrictive energy of fear of not being accepted, of fear of being different, of feelings of unworthiness. Like, well, no one's done that before, so how can I do it? That's why we're here. We're here to explore all parts of ourselves. But if we don't accept all parts of ourselves, how do we have the confidence to explore and even express them? And so far in my journey, that's been the most profound thing for me, is how to fully accept myself. Unconditionally. Not just when I get things right. Not just when I feel on the top of the world. But even in those times where I feel like shit, when I'm stuck in fear, where I'm paralyzed by all this emotion coming up that I don't know what to do this. How can you still love and accept yourself in all forms? Can you make a promise to yourself that you will unconditionally accept yourself no matter what? Because all of it is just energy. It's emotion. It's guidance helping you unlock who you really are. Unlock those deeper layers of yourself. And in that way, that is all your reality is trying to do, is crack you open so you can fully live your most authentic life. So if you're one of those people like I used to be so scared to talk and express myself. And so I was thinking, my focus wasn't on me. It was on my outer reality. It was on other people and pleasing them. So for today, can you go within? Can you sit with yourself and just accept everything that comes up? Accept all parts of you, past, future. And one really cool way to do this that I do quite frequently, and today especially helped me out, was with music. So what I do is I put on my Amazon Music, that's just what I have, and I put it on my soundtrack or shuffle or whatever thing that can get random music up. And all I do is I just close my eyes. You don't have to close your eyes even, but just listen to the music. Listen to how it makes you feel. Feel the feelings that come up and ask yourself what parts of you are being highlighted on by that music. Set the intention of connecting with your higher self and allowing it to talk to you, allowing it to show you. Because that's what music allows us to do. When you're really vibing with a song, you're resonating with it. It's calling up a part of yourself that you're accepting. Because so often we wait to accept ourselves until someone else accepts us. Until we see someone else doing the same thing. Like, oh yeah, cool. Oh. Why don't you be that innovator? Why don't you be the one to accept yourself and show others how to accept that part of themselves too? That's what artists do that I find so amazing. And that's honestly why I love music. Because artists express those deepest parts of themselves. But in order to do that, they had to accept that part of themselves. Look at Demi Lovato. Look how far she's come. Her music just resonates with so many people because they resonate with it. Those parts of themselves that are calling up for them to feel and accept. And that's what music can do for so many people. Music is energy too. It heals. So try that out today. That's sometimes my form of meditation. I don't always just sit in silence as I talked about before. I don't even really call it meditation anymore. I call it connecting. Connecting with my higher self, being the observer and connecting with all of myself. And I do it sometimes as little as 5 minutes in the morning. Sometimes it's more. I don't set expectations. But understand that you can be, do, and have anything you want to be. But it starts with giving yourself permission to fully explore all parts of you. To accept all parts of you. Because once you start doing that, your reality will start to change. Your reality will start matching who you really are. Everything that's really aligned with you. And clear out what's not. But it all starts from the inside. Because after all, your reality is just a reflection of your inner reality. So if you're feeling like you're battling your reality right now, or maybe you are one of those people that needs to go, 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 go. And on days like today or the weekend where you don't have things to do, you find yourself wanting to find things to do. You find it uncomfortable to sit. Those are sure signs that there's a lot of emotion coming up for you. Those parts of yourself that are wanting to come up to be let go or explore deeper, to be accepted, expressed. But if you never stop to listen, you're going to continue to hold on to that old energy and block the new from coming in. And that's why authenticity is so freeing. And that's why, I swear to God, authenticity is the best diet program you can ever be on. Because you have vices because you're afraid to feel. That is what addiction is. I'm not feeling safe to feel my emotions, so I'm going to use this to block it. To get that temporary fix or high. And so many of us get it from food. from TV, from distraction, because we're afraid to sit with ourselves. And I promise you, the moment you can accept the present moment, your full self in that moment, all the feelings coming up, accepting all outcomes, that is your ticket to freedom. It's not that job, it's not that lover, it's not that imaginary perfect scenario that you have in your mind, that once I have that, then I'll be good. That's the trap. Whenever you think that, that should be a red flag. And immediately come back in the body and be, what am I trying to fulfill within me? What am I thinking that I need out there that I can't fulfill myself? Because that is empowerment. Knowing that everything that you desire, anything you need to heal, have, be in any moment comes from within that you can give yourself. That is freedom. That is authenticity. So I'm going to say it one more time. Authenticity is not just saying fuck it and just doing whatever. It's not just being like bleh, you know? It's truly listening and accepting all of yourself. So then you can explore yourself. That is self-realization right now. That's what life's about. You can think of it as going into this world that really is you and exploring what really calls you. Testing things out. And when you can accept yourself in all moments, you always have something to grab onto. Because that's why so many of us are afraid of change. Because it's not in our minds. Our minds only of the past. So we're afraid to go into the unknown because we don't have that mind to rely on. We clench up, we restrict, rather than acceptance, just allowing it to flow, and just being true to ourselves in every moment. Change calls out the most authentic version of us if we let it. But it starts with acceptance. So I hope that helped today. I hope I gave you some questions and some things to think about. And maybe just one other journal question I can think of, it just popped in my head, is write out your story today. Write out your story of who you've been, who you're being. And allow yourself to ask, what versions of me are calling out? Do the music thing I told you about. But what version of me is calling right now that I'm denying? What do I feel restricted? It all comes down to listening. So I love you. I hope this helped whoever was meant to help today. And I will see you tomorrow.